Want to welcome everybody. First of all, is there anybody who hasn't been here to Jennings before, that this is your first time here? Right, a few of you. So then I think most of you have probably been here, so welcome back. Tell you a little bit about Jennings before we get started, and we'll be turning it over to the guys here up front for the big show today. Here at Jennings, we're a state park. Anybody know how many state parks we have in Pennsylvania? Anybody want to guess? What do you think? 50? 50, that's a great guess, but it's a few more than 50. What do you think?
67.
Ah, good guess. More than that. What do you think?
78.
78, even more than that. We'll take one more guess. Anybody else? Oh, you are getting really warm. 120. 120 state parks here in Pennsylvania, which we're pretty lucky to have here. We have one of the largest state park systems in the whole country, and one of the best, we think. We were given the National Gold Medal Award in 2009, so we're pretty proud of that. A lot of beautiful state parks right here in this part of the state. We have, of course, Moraine and McConnell's Mill right next door. You guys have probably been there. Got a lot of folks who've been there. Tuning State Park, one of our largest state parks, not too far away. Great, wonderful lake for great fishing and boating opportunities up there. We have, of course, Presque Isle State Park, one of the most visited state parks in Pennsylvania, all the way up north in Erie. So a lot of beautiful state parks right here in our neck of the woods that we can be pretty proud of. Our state parks are here to conserve the natural resources. Here at Jennings, we have a lot of really unique natural resources. We have the only managed and protected prairie in the whole state of Pennsylvania. It's the easternmost prairie in the United States. We're just past peak bloom time, but there's still some flowers blooming over there. The one we're most famous for, the blazing star, is past bloom, but you've got to come back in late July, early August for that one. It stands about this tall. Gets that beautiful purple pink spike to it. It's really special. And then, of course, also here at Jennings, within that prairie, we have a unique animal. And related to some of the animals that you guys will be seeing here today, does anybody know what our endangered species is that lives in the prairie?
Yeah?
You got it, yeah. There you go. I have that model somewhere. There he is. I want to show you a model of one, not a real one. Unlike a lot of the animals you'll be seeing today, which are real, our guy is a model. But this just gives you an idea of the size. It's the smallest of our 3 venomous snakes in Pennsylvania. And it is endangered. We do protect it because it's a really important part of the ecosystem in Jennings and in the prairie. So it's really important that we keep protecting this guy, as well as all the reptiles and amphibians that are out there. And these guys have a great show for you today. We're really proud to bring this program to you guys. We have a number of other programs coming up here at Jennings. We have an orienteering program coming up. We have our National Public Lands Day coming up, some special volunteer events for scouts as well. So check us out on Facebook, look us up on our calendar of events on DCNR's website, and you'll get information on it, or sign up for our email list, and you'll get information about all of our programs that are coming up. Without further ado, I want to turn it over to Alex Petrides. He's with the Awesome Spirit of Wildlife, and these guys have an awesome show for you guys today. Turn it over.
All right, my PowerPoint presentation kind of jumped 2 slides ahead once again because I wasn't paying attention. My tech guy didn't catch it this time. My name is Alex, and I'd like to welcome you all to our presentation today. I'm the president and founder of an organization called TASOW, which is an acronym that stands for the Awesome Spirit of Wildlife. You can model with our t-shirts in front of you and show you guys what we do. Well, we're a nonprofit 501c3 organization that's dedicated to wildlife conservation and exotic animal rescue. And some of you guys may ask, how does exotic animal rescue tie in with wildlife conservation? And my answer to that is we take animals that people can no longer take care of as pets anymore or neglected or abused, and we take them to presentations like this, and we do educational programs. Some of the animals we get, we find new homes for. We rehabilitate. Some animals we have come to us in bad condition. But we also do our educational programs to talk about these animals in the wild and to talk about specific problems, including what a problem you guys may all be familiar with, the invasive snake problem in Florida that has been occurring with the Burmese pythons. So this is to encourage, we like to encourage people who want to become reptile hobbyists, because that's how I started smart buyers of reptiles and amphibians to take good care of their animals and to promote good husbandry. So without further ado, I'm going to talk a little bit about how our group was started. Right here I have one of the biggest inspirations to our group. Back when we were in high school, a couple friends and myself, who were huge fans of Steve Irwin and wanted so much to be like him, decided that we were going to start rescuing animals and making a difference. And with the encouragement of some of our teachers and fellow peers, we got together, and in 2004 we started a small after-school club that we named TASOW. We picked the black and yellow colors, unfortunately not because of the Steelers, but because most venomous animals in the wild have bright black and yellow colors, and they use that to kind of show themselves to other animals and let the other animals know that, hey, I'm venomous, don't touch, or poisonous, don't touch me. And it's a color that stands out. One of the big things we talked about is conservation, and we don't have any amphibians with us here today, but these are several of our native amphibian species, including the green frog on the far left-hand side, the American bullfrog, the guy that's sticking in the glass right there is the gray tree frog, and two of our salamander species, the marbled salamander and the spotted salamander, both of which are slowly disappearing because of environmental changes. This right here is the hellbender. This is the largest salamander we have in the state of Pennsylvania, and quite possibly the largest salamander in the United States. They're related to the Japanese giant salamander, which can grow up to lengths of 5 feet or more. These guys can only get up to about 2 feet length. And you can see why conservation is very important for these guys, because the gray area marks their old habitat, their old range, and these are the yellow marks the healthy populations that we currently have in the United States. The main reason that we think they're declining is because, quite simply, their clean water sources are starting to disappear. As we pollute our rivers, as we change the course of waterways, the water quality changes, and as you all know, as living creatures, we need clean water to survive, which 2% of all the water on planet Earth is fresh water, and almost less than 1% of that is available for us for drinking and use. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start off the presentation by not talking about reptiles first off, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one of our invertebrates. Who here has arachnophobia? My cameraman back there just raised his hand. It's okay. And Roger does too. I don't know how friendly she's going to be. We were picking her up earlier, but usually I like to have my arm go numb at the end of the presentation and not at the beginning so I can handle the other animals. So I'm going to go ahead and take out our first. This would actually be the only venomous animal we technically have here today. And this is Graphistola rosea, aka the rose-haired tarantula, and they're native to Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia. This is actually a juvenile rose-haired tarantula. They can get about the size of my hand. I don't have really big hands. And they're an interesting spider species because one of their defense mechanisms, which is one that I also have to watch out for, is not their venom, but the hairs on the back of their abdomen are actually can cause a minor irritation. And if you're allergic to the hairs, they can cause a major irritation that lasts for weeks. We once had a volunteer that was highly allergic to rose-haired tarantula hairs, and the spider we used to bring to presentations didn't like her very much. And ended up throwing hairs on both her and myself. And I was itchy for about a day, she was itchy for about a week. Their venom is purely used as a digestive enzyme, so when they catch things like insects or even small mice, the venom basically melts or breaks down their prey item and turns it almost into a soup that the spider can drink through its mouth. And they use two mandibles to palpitate and maneuver their food. As you can see on the front, their mandibles face downwards, and the fangs kind of hook up underneath. Most of the time, if they feel threatened and try to bite, they're not going to inject venom because it actually takes a lot of energy to make the venom that they use to feed. So they don't want to waste that on anyone else. And what she's doing right now, if you can see those her two front legs rearing up, that's actually a defensive posture. Right now she sees me, she's not too comfortable with the way I'm holding her, and she's telling me, please put me down, I don't like you, I might bite you. So I'm going to go ahead and distract her, which is cool. Did you see that? Anybody have any questions about those tarantulas? Before I move on to reptiles? All right. Now we can start off with the first up. And the first reptile I'm going to show you is a native species that you can find throughout Pennsylvania and most of the United States, actually. If anybody can recognize this type of turtle, go ahead and yell out the name. Yep. He's very drippy too. This is the common snapping turtle. Everybody had to say hi to Snooki. No, he was not named after Snooki from the Jersey Shore. The name was actually not one I gave to him. In all honesty, it was one that my mom gave to him and it stuck. But we've actually had Snooki in our rescue since he was an egg. As I said before, our organization does a lot of odd and different rescues. And one day I came home from the university to find a bucket of eggs at my doorstep with a little note that said, "Please help." No phone number, no name, nothing, just a "please help." And I looked at these eggs and I misidentified them actually. I thought, oh, box turtle eggs. And within 4 months, 25 baby snapping turtles that come out quarter size, this big, hatched out. And he was actually the runt of the group. And he's actually grown the quickest and the fastest. The other ones have been released into the wild, and Snooki has been kept as our education animal. You guys can see that long neck that he has there? That's where they get their scientific name, which is Calidra serpentina. Serpentina for the long snake-like neck. And the neck is used the means for them to reach out further to grab a hold of prey. And they have really powerful jaws on the front end. That's why I'm holding them from the back, because the business end is not something you want to get involved with. They can put thousands of pounds of pressure behind that bite, just like an alligator or crocodile. And an adult snapping turtle might not have any trouble severing a finger. The reason they have the disposition that they have, and I know you guys are going to see him acting aggressive, that's because he's very used to being handled. The reason they have their natural disposition of snapping in the wild is because that shell of theirs is small enough on the flapsteron side, which is the belly, that they can't actually pull their whole body into the shell like other turtles can to defend themselves. So their only other means of defending themselves when they're on land is to fight back defensively and to be aggressive and bite. Snapping turtles are fully aquatic. They rarely leave the water. Females will leave the water in early to mid-April to go lay their eggs, and they'll do that throughout May. Males usually don't leave the water unless their food source runs out and they're going to another pond to find food. Snooki is a male. He didn't show it when I was holding him, but the reason we know that is because just like other animals, turtles and reptiles in general have reproductive organs that distinguish themselves, and snapping turtles will occasionally pop their reproductive organs out when you're carrying them like that, just to show them off, I guess. He didn't do it that time. I think he was feeling a little shy. But Snooki is also he will also continue to grow, and they will live up to about 20 years, 20, 25 years. Yes?
I think they did because we saw a huge one.
I found them about 5 foot carapace size.
Yeah, we came across the huge one and it snapped.
They're not 5 foot, 4 foot carapace size. Sorry.
It snapped her sleeve. So,
yeah.
It was out of the water. It was in the field.
They're not the largest snapping turtle species we have in the United States. They're the second largest. The largest one we have is the alligator snapping turtle, which does not live in Pennsylvania. They're native to the southern states and most of Florida. Alligator snapping turtles have a broader head and their shells are more distinguished by larger scutes on the back. Alligator snapping turtles also can't extend their neck out as far. So when people are handling alligator snapping turtles, generally you'll see them handling from the top of the shell and the bottom. You don't want to do that with him. The safest way to handle a snapping turtle, actually, if anyone sees one on the road to take them across, is not actually by the tail, because you can dislodge the vertebrate, and you also with males, you can dislodge the reproductive organs rather than sterile. Best way is to pick them up by the back 2 legs and hold them away from your body. That way the claws in the back can't get to you, and the front end,
we didn't know it was a snapping turtle until it came towards us.
Yeah. The open mouth sometimes gives that one. Okay. Our next next animal I'm going to show you guys is also a native species. Anybody identify what kind of turtle it is? This is an eastern box turtle, and this is a female. Eastern box turtles are on our list of concerned species. They're not threatened, but they are a species of special concern, I do believe. Back about 5 years ago, there was a virus that ran through Pennsylvania called the rhinovirus that wiped out a lot of our local populations. And a guy at Clarion University by the name of Dr. Bill Belser started a program to breed and reintroduce box turtles to Pennsylvania. And this girl here is part of that program. She's a female box turtle. She's actually an egg-laying female that was part of the program that's produced about